this is my 370Z, and this is my pro racer dad. My dad has driven almost all vehicles, and he hasn't driven a 370Z yet, and has always been interested to see how they perform. So I'm going to let him drive and review my car today and see what he thinks about it. To give you a bit of background about what my dad's done race-wise and his career.
So I used to race in the Heritage Grand Touring Car Championship a few years ago in a Mark 1 Escort, or a series of Mark 1 Escorts. Lot of fun doing that, absolutely love it. And I currently instruct supercars for Car Chase Heroes. So I'm lucky enough to drive, and with my business as well, all different sorts of cars. So it's always nice to try something different. I always had a soft spot for the 240 and the 260Z when they came out. So I think this is a worthy successor. Nice aggressive looking car, muscle car looks. 3.7 V6, 330 horsepower, I think. Looking forward to driving it.
Yeah, so we're going to go, luckily we're at Dad's business at the moment, which is situated kind of in the countryside. So there's some really lovely driving roads. Amusingly, we will have the dog with us in the front seat, so I'm not sure how far he's going to be able to push it. But yeah, we'll get him to take a little drive, see how he thinks about it, give you guys a little review at the end. I'd be really interested to see what he thinks. I mean, what would you describe as some of the best cars you've ever driven?
It's difficult. I mean, I've been lucky to drive, all the exotica, but for me, the ones that stick in my head are bizarrely the Ford Fiesta ST when it first came out. It just surprised me with how nimble and how much I enjoyed driving it. At the higher end, I'm a sucker for a Ferrari 458. It's just beautiful. It's comfortable. It's quick. It's just got everything. That's probably my realistic dream car. But I also love Capris, Escorts, all sorts. It doesn't have to be fast. It's just got to make me smile.
Have you had any that you've thought surprised you, or just are amazing handling cars that some people might not expect?
The Megane R26R I had briefly last year, I knew would be quite a good car. I didn't realise quite how good. The handling on that was ridiculous. Partly because of the semi-track day tyres it had got on it.
Yeah, but for a front-wheel drive, it was
incredible. I mean, I had a lot of fun in that. I had a few little good plays in that. That impressed me a lot. And I say the ST was the other one that really stood out. But then there've been disappointments. I'm not a huge fan, if I'm honest, of the Lamborghinis. I've driven quite a lot of Gallardos, Huracans. They don't really do it for me. I mean, horses for courses. And I do love a 911. I've got an a late 996 rather, which I've got a real soft spot for. Still very good value for money. Absolutely love those.
All right, yeah. So for context, this is, like you said, a 3.7 litre V6. So pretty massive engine, especially for a more modern car. It's running about 330 horsepower. This is the convertible model, obviously. I know a lot of people prefer the coupes, but I found out that the convertibles are actually more expensive to buy when they were brought out. Yeah, I think for value for money, this is a car that's really impressed me. I hadn't driven one before I bought it, so definitely been a learning curve of what sort of things to expect. Definitely learned that this thing has a very loose rear end, so that'll have a bit of fun considering it's in the wet. Yeah, I think it's a great car and I've really enjoyed it as a daily. The only criticism I have on it, which doesn't really matter much to me, is the fuel efficiency. It probably gets 0.5 miles to the gallon. It's not that bad, but I mean it eats through a sort of 90 quid tank in about 300 miles, so definitely not great there. But I didn't buy it for fuel efficiency. I bought it because it drives brilliantly. I love the way it looks, and it's actually a really comfortable daily as well. It's got some of the nice features that you don't always get in cars like this. It's got heated and cooled seats. It's the GT pack, so it does have some nice additions. It's got the screen, it's got sat nav, it's got reversing cameras, just anything really. It's got a lot for what I'm used to, having always driven sort of 90s, noughties cars. So I've been very impressed with it. Let's find out what Dad thinks. Let's go for a drive.
Cool.
Right, here are the keys. Enjoy.
Thank you, Jessie. Go and see Jessie. Go and see Jessie.
Right, off we go.
Okay. So first impressions, nice sound to it, nice rumble. Does feel, I mean, you're in a sort of a 2000s Japanese car just from the way it's the ergonomics. So a good pickup, nice smooth delivery of power. Lovely pedal position. One pet hate I have is when you get in the car and you can't heel and toe. It drives me up the wall. I know it's an old school thing, and I'm old school, but this is set up nicely for that lovely slick motion on the gear stick. It reminds me a little bit of the MX-5s I've had before, particularly the NAs and NBs. Just very, very smooth, easy to drive.
That's only when the synchros don't go. On these, it's a very common problem to have, and you can get crunchy gears, unfortunately, but luckily this one, most of the time, is pretty much perfect on that front.
So one thing that's quite nice is I'm looking out of the side mirror, is I can see the big fat haunches, which I do like. I had a Z3M Coupe before, and that had sort of a similar aggressive, chunky rear end, which I like.
Yeah, I will say that Z3M, the clown shoe, I'll pop a photo of it here, that was, I think, one of my favourite cars that you've had. When I saw the photos of it before he bought it, I wasn't really convinced, and then I saw it in person and just fell completely in love with it. I mean, what a beautiful car, and they're so rare, you really don't see them that often.
Yeah, I mean, I sold it to a dealer. I did a swap deal, and I then kind of changed my mind and tried to get it back, and he wouldn't give it to me. He fell in love with it, didn't want to sell it. So they're cool cars. As I said, they're very different, like a kind of baby Ferrari FF, I guess.
Yeah.
And with that classic 3.2 litre Evo engine in, although only a 5-speed box in as opposed to 6-speed in that for
that was surprised me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose it's such a small car. Like I say, there are some really lovely roads around this sort of way, so having the chance to drive on them every time you go to work.
Yeah, no, it's a big plus. I mean, they're good biker roads. They're quite narrow country lanes. So in a car, if you stop behind someone or a tractor, you're struggling. But obviously, I'm a big biker as well. So on bikes, it's so much easier. You can just nip round them. They're lovely roads. It's a welcome change from commuting into the city, sitting on a train. I'm now surrounded by cars and bikes I love the countryside, so I'm lucky.
We're sadly at the scene of where Dad's 911 broke down not long ago. It was a very sad day, was it not?
It was a sad and an expensive day. I'd had the car 4 years, never had an issue with it, and then all of a sudden a barrage of warning lights and 4 new radiators later, an auxiliary belt and pulley. But hey, it's worth every penny, that car. I love it to pieces. So
yeah,
you take the rough with the smooth.
That's the thing about, especially owning slightly older cars, you do kind of have to accept it. Yeah, that's a beautiful car. Was it a 996?
It's a 996
second gen.
Yeah. So with a bigger engine. I mean, it's lovely. They still haven't really taken off in value. They dipped down for a leggy coupe to about 8,000 a few years ago. And they're worth more than that. People say, oh, I don't like the side egg headlights, the 997's prettier. It is. But you've got the same engine in the 997 Gen 1 as the 996 Gen 2. It's effectively almost the same car.
Yeah.
And it's just great value for money. You know, mine's probably worth about 15,000 quid, which now doesn't really get you a lot. Certainly not in the new, nothing in the new market. So I just think if I sold it, what am I going to get that comes close, realistically, for even double that money? So it's a keeper.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about 911s that there's nothing in my head that really quite stands up to them. You can spend more money, you can get, you know, closer to supercars, and I still think you're going to be losing out compared to a 911. Like the way they drive, I've driven Dad's personally, and the way it drove, it's just something you can't quite describe, and the feel it has.
But also you've got a whole range of them, Jessie. I mean, you've got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, you've got different power from 200 or less on a very early one up to 600, 700 on the new RS3s, GT3s, GT2s, etc. Huge power. You've got the choice of what you want, and for budget, so you can start at 10-ish up to over 4, well, probably nearer $1 million if you go for a 70s RS Touring.
Yeah.
So there's one for every budget, and I love them. I mean, to me, if you've only got 2 cars and your budget's anything from 20 grand to, well, name a number, 911 and a Range Rover, you've got every box ticked, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say they never made a bad one.
No, not really. I mean, all the ones I've driven, I've loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fabulous cars.
I really rate them. Right, so we've been driving for a bit now. What are your thoughts on it?
So, mixed bag. I love the look of it. I think it's really nice, aggressive stance. As I said, the rear haunches. It's a good-looking car. I think the interior, if I'm being a bit picky, the dials, little bit. I think they're a little bit dated. Everything's there, and it is well equipped. As Jesse said, you've got the heated cooled seats, and it's comfortable. That's one thing I've noticed. It's a comfortable place to drive. More importantly, though, is it drives well. So it's got good pedal position. I mentioned before, I like to heel and toe, double declutch, all the old school stuff. And some cars you just can't do it. I had a Ford Puma ST. I could not do it in. It drove me up the wall. People who've designed this are drivers. They've clearly put some thought into it, not just the accountants who've taken over. I like the sound is good.
It could do with an exhaust, I think.
It could do with it. Considering the
list.
aggression of it, the exhaust is a bit tame.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a fan of wide boy exhaust, but I like the sound of cars. So my 911, for example, has got a Porsche factory kit sports exhaust on, and it sounds fantastic, and it's switchable. So maybe a switchable system would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Tyres, Jesse's mentioned. I think some different tyres just for better grip. There's no point going cheap on tyres. Get the best tyres. It's the only thing touching the ground. I'd be doing that. The brakes, obviously, they've been sorted, so it's got a big brake kit on which works, but it's not like it's stopping you dead. Like, oh my lord, it's progressive. It works. It's just right. The brake feel is excellent on this. So well done, Jesse, for fitting that. I think you've got suspension to come, Jesse. So be interested to see the change.
That's on the list. Obviously, it's quite low already. Almost impractically so. Like this already scrapes on pretty much everything, but I'm still me, so I think I will probably end up putting some nice coilovers on, but we'll see.
Be interested maybe to do a track example, sort of before and after, Jesse, and see what we think on that. Yeah,
definitely. This is obviously I've got a lot of upgrades to come. I've got a vision for this car that hopefully will sort of come into place in the next year. Definitely it'll be good to see it on track after that, especially with the big brake kit on. It almost seems like a crime not to take it on track, so that would definitely be something we're wanting to do. Yeah, what do you think of the way it actually drives, the handling?
I'm impressed with it. It's not as skittish as I thought. I mean, you were saying, oh god, that back end will go. I mean, look, it will. If you boot it in the wrong place, we're on wet roads now, I'm just going round and roundabout. I mean, I've booted it there, it's not moved. You've just got to be sensible. It's like with any car. I mean, I'm used to 911s, which is not only rear wheel drive, but it's rear engine.
So you will get snap oversteer on those.
Effect.
Yeah.
This handles well. You've just got to be careful. It's 330 horsepower, rear wheel drive. Anything can bite you, so just treat it with some respect. But it's, I think if I sum it up quickly, it's been designed by drivers.
No, I'd agree with that, and that's the exact things I like about it. I wouldn't say it's a perfect car, but I think it's been a really good daily for me. And going from my Scooby as a daily to this, I was concerned because every other car I've tried is a daily. So I had my Clio RS 197, I had my Civic Type R FN2. Really unimpressed with both of them compared to the Scoobies, and this is something that I actually haven't missed the Scoobies too much. As a daily, I've really enjoyed this. I think it's got the nice balance of, you know, a performance car with comfort. So yeah, it's been a real win for me in my books.
I think what's good, Jesse, it's not too in your face. Some performance cars I drive are trying to get away with you. I describe it as like a pit bull on a lead. Yeah. And sometimes you've got to drive slowly and carefully. You just, conditions won't allow otherwise. Yeah. This car lets you do that. You can poodle along if you need to, but you can put your foot down. There's progressive power there. I'm a fan of progressive power. I don't want on-off. I've had plenty of cars like that which don't appeal to me. This has got that progressive nature, and it's just learn how far to push it.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So, what would you give it as a out of 10 rating overall? Do you think?
On looks, on everything. Looks,
Yeah,
everything.
whole package.
I'm probably going to go with an 8.
Yeah, you know, I think that's probably exactly what I'd give it as well. Yeah, I'm really happy, and I think value for money, it's been really great. So yeah, I definitely recommend giving one a try if you've got the chance to drive one and haven't. Yeah, if you want to see any more car reviews in the future, let me know in the comments. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.